Today I want to talk to you about one of the best mystery book writer, and my humble opinion, and that kind of author that I know every time I go back to one of her books, I enjoy it thoroughly, and I have this satisfying feeling by the end of the book. And overall, I think they're so smart. There's something in the setting, there's something the way she writes things that keeps me entertained, and I need to know who did it. And she is so good at shifting the narrative, so you're always thinking, okay, is this person? No, it's this other person. And then you're like, that person was the one? So it in the very best possible way. That's how it really helps in my brain keep reading these books, because they're just, you never know where they're going, but you're enjoying the journey to the end. And this is Heather Gudenkauf. Now, the first book that I read by Heather Gudenkauf is The Overnight Guest, and it's the story of a writer or an author that is writing a true crime story, and she decides to go to this farmhouse in the middle of, this is a dilapidated farmhouse, mind you. This is not like one of those amazing rich people retreat kind of thing. She left her husband and her child to go write this book, have enough time to finish it. And once she's there, there's this crazy storm, but this is ice, snow. We're covering houses with snow kind of storm. And she goes outside. This is like a super, since it was old, she had to go out and get wood for the wood stove. And when she goes outside, she sees this kid that is hurt, and she brings the kid into the house and tries to help it. But somebody is out looking for that kid. And again, this is one of those stories that every time you think it's kind of, you feel a little claustrophobic. The kid is strange, is doing strange things, is acting as if it was a rabid dog really in the beginning, but it will develop. And the twist at the end is amazing, because you feel like you know who did it, and then you're like, no, that's not it. That's not it. And that's why I love that book, and it was a 5-star for me. The next one that I would recommend, it's called Before She Was Found. And this is another story, but this is about 3 friends that were having a sleepover, and something happens. They decide to do something in the middle of the night, and then one of them is dead. So now we're going to spend the rest of the book trying to figure out who did that to this girl. And it's so good. You'll have the girls and the audiobook is also really good. I did listen, I think I did a few chapters on audio, and then I went to the book. The mystery will keep you engaged with the book. You again will think that it's one person, but it's the next one and not the next one. And it's just really, 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 really good. You need to put that in your TBR. Now, the other book that I did really enjoy is The Way of Silence. And again, it's very atmospheric. This one, it takes place during summer. And it opens with this little girl, the father going to go fishing with one of his buddies. And the little girl needs to go to the bathroom. She's kind of scared of her dad. She gets up and he takes her. That's what we know. And then her best friend, who lives a few houses over, well, mind you, this is in a rural area, so it could be like 10 acres away, she is also missing. But we do know where this little girl is from the beginning. We do know who took her and what the dad is thinking as he's taking her. But you don't know if this is all a misunderstanding from the beginning, if this is something that he's doing and, everyone overreacted and called the police and now are looking for this little girl. You know that the other girl is not necessarily with her as you're reading the beginning of the book. And in the end, it's such a well-crafted book. You need to read it. Now, the next 2 were some of the ones that I enjoyed, but not as much as the other 3 that I mentioned. But they're definitely 4 stars. Number 1 is her latest book. It's called Everyone is Watching, and it's about this reality show where people with a lot of, different paths in life will go to this one game. It seems like a Squid Game kind of spin-off, but I think she said that it was based on Survivor, and or she got her inspiration from Survivor. And so they go and they're competing for this money, and in the end you will be able to see how everyone is part of something. That's all I'm gonna say, because it really is one of those things that keep you guessing until the end. The next one is This Is How I Lied. And one of the things, and I cannot tell you what trope that is, but it does have a trope that I don't enjoy, but I think that the mystery is still so good that you should read it. This is about there's about this detective that she lost her friend when she was young in one of the caves in their small town. Now, she's pregnant, she's married, and she is somehow, I'm not going to give you the whole story, involved in the investigation of her friend that just resurfaced. And trying to find out who did this to this girl is going to keep you guessing until the very end. And that's exactly what I like in a book. Now, if I have to give you a vibe for Heather Gudenkauf's books, I have to say that they're either, well, one of my favorite is set during a winter storm and snow, or they're set in the middle of summer. July, it's sticky, it's hot, it's in a farmhouse, it's taking place in a small town, probably where they have, fields, or they have animals, or both. And it's just, it's either sticky and hot and humid in Iowa, or it's like we're just in the middle of winter and there's so much snow we can't even leave the house. So are also very atmospheric. Like I said, you will feel hot, sticky, and humid, or you'll feel like you're freezing. And that adds to the atmosphere of the book. It really is not separated of the book itself, and it gives you that feeling that it could be you. You could be going through these things. They're also very dark, thrilling. You're just always guessing what's going to happen, and it does touch on some dark things. There's one of them that touches on a school shooting, but it's not about the school shooting. I don't know how to explain it, but that's one of the books that I haven't read yet because I feel like it's going to be good, but I need to be in the right mental space before I think about picking up a book that something like that happens in that book. Now, this is some of the words that come to mind every time I think about a Heather Gudenkauf book. It's very gripping. It will catch your attention, or it won't. It depends how you like it. But in me, it just keeps my attention on the book, and I can't really put it down. And finally, she has a very unique style. That's how I can describe it. I often put on Google or on Novelist, or those kind of websites. I often put their authors similar to Heather Gudenkauf, and I get recommendations, but every time I tried one of those authors, it's not the same. One of those authors that are often compared to her writing style is Cheryl Lapina. And I love Cheryl Lapina's book, but they're different. They don't have a similar writing style. They could be writing about some of the same things, but the way that they write is completely different. I also got a couple of other recommendations that I can't seem to remember, but I've tried to compare her writing style with somebody else's, and I just can't. I just feel like her writing style is very unique, and until I can find another author that writes in her, kind of her style, I just cannot compare it to anything that I've read before. So that's why I think she's one of the best mystery writers, mystery/thriller writers or authors that it's out there today, and that I'm always looking forward to her next book, because I know I'm gonna have a great time, whether I do audio or I do the book itself. I just cannot wait. I hope she has a new release in 2025. I've been searching for my favorite authors' new releases on NetGalley, but I don't think I've tried her yet, because I know that whatever she writes, her style is something that it always makes me come back to her books. So anyways, thank you so much for being here today. I truly appreciate you guys. If you have an author that you think, if you read Heather Gudenkauf books and you think it's similar, please leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to check that out. Thanks again for being here, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you find something new to add to your TBR. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.